liked that noise, like and subscribe. But if you didn't like that noise, there's probably a reason. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Nick, and this is 10 Minutes with Nick. And I'm going to go back to some familiar ground today. The dreaded ick of the modern dating world. The dreaded ick. Why? Well, because it never seems to be an untrending topic, and because it needs to be discussed. Because I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it in a sense because it frames something that it's an annoying thing about someone. But everybody has annoying habits, and it's instead framed as this sort of defining. It's framed as the defining characteristic of a person. Now, granted, in dating and in the dating world, people have preferences. Some people like short people. Some people like tall people. Some people like skinny people, fat people, whatever. And before someone fights me on saying that, no, fine, you want to quibble about it. You're not a fat person. You are a person with fat. You want to quibble about it, fine. Long and short of it is, go to the gym. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take that stand here at 10 Minutes with Nick. The absolutely controversial stance of you should do things to improve your overall health. Someone will argue with me and say that, oh no, you can't say that. Well, you know what? Yeah, I can say that. I'm sorry. If you worked out and dieted in such a way that you think that being fat is what makes you happy, or rather having excess body fat is what makes you happy, I apologize that you had that experience, but that is not how you should be working out. That crash diet or that fad workout or whatever. The stuff that's worked since the time of Socrates, whatever his name is, like renowned wrestler that he was. The Olympics, the stuff that the Olympics were originally based on, weightlifting, wrestling, athletics, movement, stuff like that. That stuff still works now. It just doesn't work instantaneously. And I think that is where I come back to my issue with Icks. Like how I brought that full circle, don't you? That's where I come back to my issue with the ick, the idea of the ick. The ick on the internet is typically some kind of temporary annoyance. Like it's something that's slightly minorly annoying about someone that like makes a man or a woman, but it's mostly women in these trends, get sort of all up in arms. And when I say that and when I see these videos, it's ridiculous things. So I know these are slightly satirical videos, but there's some truth in satire. There's always some truth in satire. Jokes are funny because they're hyper realistic versions of the truth. So when we watch that and we say to ourselves, wow, these girls just seem to find everything icky, it makes us question the value of dating. It really does. It makes everybody question the value of dating. Men, women, everybody in between. I think in times gone by, minor annoyances in people. Seinfeld used to have a run on this joke. He was the guy who could find something wrong in every woman he dated. So he had his own version of the ick list. And one such example was he dated this woman once called Man Hands. And it was just that when he looked at this woman's hands, they looked manly. And for the cutaway gag, right? They had this very pretty woman sitting up here, and then every time they looked at her hands, they looked at like, my hands are a little dainty, but they looked like gorilla hands. Like they were the hairiest man hands you could imagine. And it was giving him what we would call in the modern parlance the ick. This was a joke. It was played as a joke. It was meant to satirize the absolute seriousness by which Seinfeld was taking these rather minor issues with somebody. And look, you're allowed to have your preferences and you're not required to date anybody. That's the long and short of it. But when it comes down to this issue of like the ick, it becomes like this thing like, oh, well, now I got to make sure he doesn't have any of my icks. And the answer is no, nobody doesn't have an ick. Everybody's got an ick of some variety that you're not going to enjoy. Everybody's a little bit annoying sometimes. Everybody's going to have some level of annoyance to them. And it's not a good thing, bad thing, or indifferent thing. Everybody has some level of quirk to them. Now, a couple things that we need to just touch on in this conversation. It's not right to have an ick about something that somebody can't control. It's not right to have an ick about that. Doesn't mean you have to date them. It's just not right to make it into like a whole thing. Like, you can't say I have an ick about guys or girls who have gigantic moles on their faces. Mole, guacamole. I want to rip that off, chop it up, and turn it into guacamole. No, it's mean, right? Then you're just picking on somebody. But you don't have to date them. But it would be nice if maybe you didn't reject a conversation. I think we've lost the ability to just go on dates in today's society, and that's part of the ick list. It's designed as a weeding out mechanism to weed people out almost immediately. And I think it's based in dating app culture, because in dating app culture, it's literally you have a menu of options, and it's like walking into a restaurant, sitting down. What would you like for your midday meal? I'll take the 6'3" man in finance, blue eyes, golden blonde hair. I've never been on Raya. I assume Raya is very selective and has a lot of 6'3" men in finance with blue eyes. And as a finisher, I'll take the we'll be light on the finisher. I'll take a 6'1" man with brown eyes working in entertainment. Very good, very good. And would you like any side salad to begin with? You know what? A 5'8" gentleman for a side salad. That would be lovely. It's ridiculous. Okay? These dating apps, now, granted, I can't hate on them too much. Because they've become a primary vehicle of dating, and there's plenty of success stories off dating apps. But when you're introduced to these things at a very young age, and you can get on these apps as long as you're old enough to lie about how old you are. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? As Dr. House once so aptly noted, a sign making you promise you're not 12. Even an 11-year-old can figure that out. You can get on these apps as long as you can lie about your age. And I think the younger you get on these apps, the quicker it screws with your head and makes you see the world not as a world of people, but as a world of menu options. And I don't know. That's crazy to me. Like a 13-year-old deciding that she's going to sort people, swipe right, swipe left. Like, no. You're not learning to see personalities. You're learning to see options. And you're learning to see people, and you're learning to see that you can just discard people. Like, goodbye, hello, goodbye. And the data from dating apps is absolutely horrific, particularly for men. And it's tough, because when men are out there and they try to do different things, they try new things, I can say for certain that it is mostly men struggling at new things that seems to generate the ick for women online in this trend. And the reason it generates the ick for them is because watching a man struggle is a special kind of horrific. For some reason, it's something in, I don't know whether it's built into society or built into our genetics or whatever, but watching a man struggle doing something is horrific to watch for everybody, not just for women. Watching a man struggle to do something is absolutely horrific. You see a guy working on a car, changing a spare tire, and boy, if he's not doing it smooth, it just looks terrible. Like, it looks like a Lego brick trying to exist in our world. Whereas if you see a woman struggling at something, I don't know, it just doesn't affect viscerally in the same way. And that's probably a societal thing, but women can do these new hobbies and do different things and get off the dating apps and go try and meet people in real life, because they can try new hobbies. And if they're struggling at it, well, who cares? As a man, you get very, very nervous trying new things. Like, I don't know how somebody goes out and tries something new as a man and, gets off of the rotation of menu options and gets out of that world. But that being said, I think the ick is stupid. Take people as a whole. When you look at people, look at them holistically. And when you look at the person holistically, you might find that there's some annoyances, but generally speaking, people are more than their traits. There's a human soul in there, and you should treat it kindly. Now, that being said, I'm over my time. I'm out of time. I have no time. I have to leave now. So, all that being said, I said at the beginning, like and subscribe. I say now, like and subscribe. If you didn't like this, still subscribe, and then find reasons to be mean to me. It's okay. I can take it. I'm a big boy. That's all I got for you. Goodbye. Have a good one. Ta-ta. TTFN. Sayonara. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.